Hello, Clint Jolly here with Butcher Boy Meats in Reno, hanging out in the backyard, giving you some grilling tips so you can make some awesome meals for your family, your friends, in your own backyard. One of the absolute customer favorites of ours, burgundy pepper steak tri-tips. Tri-tips in general are just the absolute best-selling thing that we have in the summertime. Really not a barbecue without a good Butcher Boy tri-tip. So, the burgundy pepper steak, our black rock, our absurd marinade, and our chili lime, 4 flavors we have, they're marinated in a kind of a unique way. We have a machine called a vacuum tumbler, which we put the meat, we put the seasoning, the marinades in there. It tumbles it around under a vacuum, which opens up all those pores and lets that marinade soak all the way through. That's what helps get all the flavor that we can get into these tri-tips, something you really can't copy at home. We trim our tri-tips of all of the silver skin, all of the fat, so all you get is just good, nice, edible meat and a ton of flavor, no waste at the end, which kind of impacts the way that we're going to cook it. There's not a lot of fat on there, so we want to make sure on a tri-tip we're going to cook it starting up over direct heat, and we're going to kind of get a crust on the outside, a little bit of a sear, and then we're going to move it over to the colder side of the grill. Today we're going to show you how to do this on charcoal. It works great on a gas grill as well. If you have a couple of burners, just start with it over higher heat, medium high heat on one side, then move it over to the other, leave those burners on. You want that about 350 degrees or so in the grill. So let's go over to the charcoal. I'll show you how to get this thing cooked. Doing this tri-tip on the charcoal here, classic Weber kettle. You really can't go wrong with it. We've had these coals going for about 30-35 minutes, so they've cooked down. They're pretty much ashy white. That's where we want it. We don't want an active flame on there. We don't want them all black, because then it's just gonna flare up a bunch. So nice heat there. We're gonna put this right on top of the coals, get a nice sear going to start cooking it for about the first 8 or 10 minutes. We're gonna cook it right there on the hot with the lid on it, keep all that heat in there. Then we're gonna give it a flip after 8 or 10 minutes, cook it through, then move it off to the side and finish it up to where we want it medium rare, about 125 degrees in the middle. So that tri-tip, we seared on the outside over nice hot coals, then we moved it off to the side indirect heat after we gave it a flip. So now that nice thick roast, it's a couple inches thick. We want to let it rest. We want to let it rest for about 5-8 minutes, up to 10 or so. So we're just going to pull it off, cover it loosely with some aluminum foil, and let it sit before we slice into it. That lets all those juices soak back into the meat. If we cut it right now, it opens up all those cells, and all the blood and all the taste and flavor and everything is just going to run right out of the meat. Resting is absolutely key on a tri-tip. About 8 minutes, 10 minutes at the most. All right, so our tri-tip is rested for about 8 minutes under that just loose foil tent. Kind of helps to keep the heat on the outside. Resting lets all those juices work through as we were talking about. So let's cut this guy open here. Now, burgundy pepper tri-tip specifically has papaya seed extract, which makes them nice and tender. So you can see as we're slicing this guy, first of all, you can see all that nice juice in there, but you can see as the outside is kind of falling off. This stuff just literally melts in your mouth. Super, super yummy. So the whole thing, a tri-tip, is gonna take about 25 to 30 minutes. You're gonna start out over high heat, whether you're using charcoal or gas or wood, etc. Start over high heat until you get a nice brown on first side, flip it over, takes about 5-6 minutes, flip it over another 5 or 6 minutes, then put it off the heat. You're gonna be there for about 15 minutes or so until you get about 125 to 130 in the middle. That'll get you medium rare just above, which is perfect for a tri-tip. You don't want a tri-tip too rare because it has some sinew and collagen there that you want to break down, which happens at 126 degrees or so. So that 125, 130 degree range is perfect. Cheers, enjoy.